Okay guys, so today we'll be looking at AP and GP. AP representing arithmetic progression and GP geometric progression. In math exams, they don't ask you to define these terms, but it's always advisable you know the definitions of these terms and get used to it, because in few cases they do not specify. They might give you a question and say, let's say for instance we have a progression 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on, and in other cases we have 2, 4, 8, 16 and so on. In cases like this, they might not tell you what kind of progression it is, but your understanding of arithmetic progression and geometric progression will help you know which one it is, and it's easier for you to solve. With time we see the differences. Moving straight into the mathematical aspect, we're starting with the formulas for AP, and there are two major formulas we'll be needing for WAEC, NECO and JAM and these basic exams, and the first being number of terms. The first formula we're looking at is number of terms, often denoted as nth term. In questions, most times it's represented as nth term. In textbooks, you see it as Tn equal to a plus in brackets n minus 1d, or some textbooks represent it as un. And in a few cases you might see it like something, you might see it as this equal to L. L meaning the last term. Whichever way you see it, it's the same thing. Formula for nth term. Now let's look at the parameters. N meaning number of terms. A is the first term. A represents the first term. In this instance I gave that we have 2, 4, 6, 8 and this other one. The first term here is 2, so A represents the first term, and we have our D as common difference. Now the common difference is the next term minus the previous term. The next term minus the previous term in arithmetic progression. In this now we have the next term is 4 minus the previous term, it's 2. It's either 4 minus 2 rather, or 6 minus 4. The next term minus the previous term. The definition covers that. So in this case, our common difference here is 2. 8 minus 6 is 2, or 6 minus 4, 2, 4 minus 2. Whichever way, the next term minus the previous term, that's the common difference. And L here means last term, or it represents the last term. In some questions you might be given the last term, but when we move on to examples we'll see scenarios like that. Now the next formula we're looking at is the sum of terms. Remember, these formulas are for AP. GP has its own formula. Sum of term in an AP. The first formula for sum of term is n over 2. That's the first formula. N meaning number of term divided by 2. Then we have this in brackets, 2a plus n minus 1 and d, or n s subscript n, which is sum of term, equal to n over 2. Now these in cases where we are given the last term. In a few scenarios we'll get to see examples where we are given the last term and how to work with it.